So hello everyone, this is Shubham Garg and welcome to the Garg Gurucool channel. Today I have with me one of the SSB candidates who had recently went to SSB, and she's going to share her experience with all of us. Her name is Gauri. So welcome Gauri, welcome to the channel.
Hi, sir. Hi, hello, everyone.
Okay. So Gauri, first of all, I would like you to tell me something about yourself. That what were your education, and
Okay.
what you have done. You're from science background. You have done BTech or whatever you have done, and then
Okay,
we
sir.
will proceed further. Yeah.
Sure, sir. So my name is Gauri Jadhav, and I'm born and brought up in Bangalore.
Okay.
I have done all my education from Bangalore itself. So
Okay.
currently, I have just completed my engineering in electronics and communication, BTech basically,
Okay.
and I'm part of the 2020 batch. So I'm just completed it,
Okay.
and yes, sir. So this is my main educational
Education. Okay.
background.
So you are an
Yeah.
engineer basically.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay. So engineers are everywhere. So you are one of them. Okay. So what was your
Yes,
branch?
sir. I know.
Electronics.
Yeah, my branch is electronics and instrumentation. It is not a
Acha.
very well-known branch. It's
Okay.
like a sister branch of electronics and communication.
Okay, okay.
So,
And you have
yeah.
recently passed out, like you are in
Yes, sir.
2020 batch. Okay,
Yeah,
okay,
2020 batch.
okay. So let's coming to the point. So, how many SSBs you have given, or like what are entries you have applied, and how was it? Yeah.
Well, sir, I applied only for two exams. That's
Okay,
this year, CDS 1 2020 and
okay,
AFCAT 1 2020.
okay,
So I could not clear my CDS 1 2020 because my English had crossed the cutoff for English, but
okay.
not for the other paper, general knowledge or
Oh,
general science.
okay,
So
okay,
because of that, I wasn't eligible for the SSB of the
okay,
army.
okay.
And coming to AFCAT, I
Mm-hmm.
cleared AFCAT
Okay,
1 2020, because of
okay,
which I got a call for the AFSB.
okay.
And
AFSB.
the center I chose is Mysore because
Okay,
that was the
near to
closest.
your
And
place. Yeah.
yeah, and by God's grace, since I had I had as soon as they had started the allocation process,
Hmm.
I just went in, put in my option, and luckily I got A to AFSB Mysore itself.
Okay,
So yeah,
okay.
so my
So
SSB was conducted there.
okay, okay. So this was your first attempt of SSB. First thing is that.
Yes, sir.
Okay, and it was at Mysore. So you went on which date? When did you go?
The interview was on 8th August,
8th of
and we had to
August.
report
Okay.
at around 6:30 a.m.
Okay, so you reported on 8th of August. So at around it has been 1 month. You have been
Yes,
to
sir.
Mysore. Okay, okay, okay.
Yes.
So first thing is that like uh, since you are in Bangalore only, so you must have gone like with some bus or local transport, right? So
Actually,
yeah.
yeah. Sir, I went with my parents. Like my father dropped me through road,
Okay,
by
okay,
road,
okay. Yeah, so you went
by
by road
cars.
and 6:30 was
Yeah.
the screening, right?
Yes, sir. Reporting
So
time.
reporting time. So did
Yes, sir.
you report at the station or somewhere, or like how they are dealing with the reporting things now in the COVID situation? Yeah.
So since I did not use public transport, so I didn't go by train
Hmm,
or bus,
hmm,
so I'm not sure about that.
hmm,
But since I went with my father,
hmm.
I directly reported at the address they had given. That
Okay,
is in front of AFSB Mysore itself.
okay. So you
So
reached at the gate
I had reported
itself,
directly.
center
Yeah.
itself, and you reported at
Yes, sir.
6:30 at around itself.
Yeah, I actually went a little early,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
I got a little time to talk to everyone. It was 6:30. Everyone were there.
Okay, everyone was there. So how was the scenario over there? Like when you reached, so were there were some, arrangements for the candidates outside the gate, or like there was nothing outside the gate and everything was like inside, all the arrangements were like, how was this thing?
Yes. So first of all, they checked our status. They made us. A lot of social distancing was maintained throughout the whole process,
Okay,
and coming to the reporting part of it, we were made to stand apart. Again, social distancing was given importance,
okay,
and they first checked our status on the Arogya Setu app.
okay,
So, apart from that, we also had to carry a certificate.
okay,
Representing our said that a COVID test was conducted and we were
Hmm.
negative. We tested negative for it.
Okay.
Now coming to that part, sir,
Just
a
just a
lot
minute.
of
Sorry for the interruption. So what was that
yes,
certificate? So one is the Arogya Setu app that should be there with everyone's mobile, in candidate's mobile,
yes, sir,
right? And second is the
yes, sir,
COVID certificate. So what is that
yes, sir, the
certificate,
COVID.
and how did you arrange that?
Okay, so coming to the certificate, there are a lot of people who had told me that you can just go to a doctor and get his approval that you don't have COVID or things like that. But that is not the correct way because they
Okay.
wanted the seal of the doctor, the registration
Okay.
number and things. And
Okay.
also, I feel if you go by that, like you may get caught. So I did
Okay.
not want to take
And you might be
chances.
sent
So I
back
went
on
to a
that day
COVID.
itself.
Exactly, sir. So
Yes.
it will
Yes.
be a
Yes.
waste, right,
Waste.
traveling there.
Yes.
So
Yes.
because yeah, so because of that, I went to the closest place near my house where they
Okay.
were conducting COVID tests
Okay.
and had given my sample. And even
Okay.
the sample, giving the sample, the Air Force, the board has they have specified a certain number of hours before which only you should give the sample.
Okay.
So I think around 2 days or something before your
Okay.
reporting day, you should give the
Okay.
sample.
Okay.
And your my so I gave the sample 2 days before, and my test results came that evening.
Okay.
So I had the COVID negative certificate. I
Okay.
had obtained it like that.
Okay, okay. So you went for the checking of the COVID. So like, how did you made sure that you will get a slot to have that checking on that day itself? You did something online. Like, how was that process?
No, so the place near my house, I went to a diagnostic lab
Okay,
where I had called like 3 4 days before to ask them
okay,
the process. They
okay.
told us that early in the morning at around 6:30,
Hmm.
we would have to go to the lab and
Okay,
collect a token
okay,
based based on which we have to get ourselves tested. Like, or the token will have the time on
okay.
of
So
when you come to the testing,
okay, so daily
and
morning, daily morning, they are random people. Anyone can go. Like for tomorrow, if someone is going tomorrow morning, they can go at that place and have that token. Like that
yes, sir.
process. Okay,
Yes,
okay.
sir. But it's always better to call the place where you're
In
going and just
advance.
confirm. Yeah.
What is the process they are following?
Yes, sir.
Okay,
So the
so
place I went to, this is the process.
okay, so you got the COVID certificate. So two things they are checking on the gate itself. One is Arogya Setu app, whether how
Yeah.
the what is the status in that app, and second is the COVID certificate, whether it is negative. What do you have, right?
Yes, sir.
And so while checking, you must have told to stand in a queue, social distancing and all. So before that itself, did they give something mask or like anything to you, or like they told okay stand in the queue like that?
No, sir. Actually, in our call letter,
Hmm.
they had sent a follow-up call letter
Okay,
saying that we had to get everything by ourselves. So
okay,
we had to carry a mask,
okay,
a face shield, and
okay,
a few pair of gloves.
okay,
So nothing was given by them, but
okay.
we had to take it and go.
Okay, so they must have made an announcement. Okay, so everyone wear gloves, and then we are going to now start the checking like that. And then you must have stand in a queue, and then they checked for Arogya Setu app and this COVID certificate. That's it. They checked
Yes.
outside the gate. No other documentation, right?
Outside the gate, no other
So
documentation,
this is
sir.
was the
Only
outs and this was outside the gate only, right?
yes, sir. And one more thing, sir. So
Yeah.
first, after checking the COVID certificate,
Hmm.
we had to move forward,
Hmm.
and all this again outside the
Hmm.
gate.
Hmm.
And they also checked our hall ticket, the AFCAT hall ticket.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay. So these are
and
three things. Yeah.
yeah, and the
Okay.
call-up letter too. So
Acha.
actually, three things were checked. One
Okay.
is the COVID negative certificate.
Hmm.
Second is the AFCAT hall ticket,
Hmm.
and third is the call-up letter. So we had
Okay.
to have all three.
All three. And fourth is the Arogya
Yes, sir.
Setu app. That is a different thing.
Yeah, four
ठीक
things.
है
Yes, sir.
ठीक है ठीक है ठीक है.
And one more thing, they also
Hmm.
asked us to sanitize our hands
अच्छा
outside the gate.
अच्छा.
They had a facility.
So they made
So
arrangement and
with
all.
our gloves itself, yeah, we
अच्छा.
had to sanitize, and they also sprayed our bags, and they sprayed us with disinfectant before
Okay,
we
okay.
entered.
Before you entered.
Yeah.
Okay. So
Yes, sir.
approximately how many girls reported on that day, and were there any cases who did not bring the certificate and they were sent back? Was there
Uh,
unfortunate something candidate like that?
Sir, actually, I was towards the front
Acha.
of the line, so I'm
Okay.
not
You
that
did not able.
aware of.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm not sure, but the number of people who reported were 117. 117 girls had reported
Okay. 117
to
girls
AF.
reported.
Yes, sir. Yes,
Okay.
sir.
Okay.
And out of that, 53 got screened in.
Okay, so approximately, we don't know that if someone was sent back due to the COVID certificate, but as in general,
Yes, sir.
117 girls were reported on Mysore SSB. Okay, so
Yes, sir.
after this process, all the sanitization done and you, this checking documentation, you entered the center, AFSB center.
Yes, sir.
Then what happened? Like, did they told you to submit there your bags and mobiles, or you directly went into the process like OIR and all that?
Yes, sir. So we had to assemble at a place,
Okay,
and over there, they asked us to keep our mobiles in our bags,
okay,
and we had to keep our bags in a place they had given. It was
okay,
like an open area
okay.
where we had to leave our bags.
Okay,
So, on like in the screening time, before screening, they
okay,
did not take our phones or anything. They just asked
okay,
us to put it on silent, switch it off,
okay.
and keep it in our bag
Keep it in
in
the
the
bag
space.
itself. Okay,
Yeah.
and leave the bag and move towards the hall for OIR, like that, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay, okay. So this is the process. Then you went into the OIR hall. Okay, so 50, now 53 is not the number. Now 117 girls have reported. So the hall was
Yes,
too
sir.
big, and there also social distancing was
Yes, sir.
maintained and everything.
Yes, sir. We were asked to leave two seats between
Two
each
seated. Okay,
candidate.
okay,
Yeah, and sit.
okay. So you,
And
yeah, yeah, yeah. Go ahead, go ahead.
and one more thing, sir. So at that point of time, they also before the OIR and PPDT,
Hmm,
the hall which we were asked to assemble in
hmm,
after keeping all our luggage,
hmm.
they gave us a form.
Okay,
It is similar to the PIQ form,
okay.
but it was just it was yeah it was somewhat like that, and we had to fill it in.
And what was
And
that? Like, what details they were asking related to something COVID
just basic
special?
details. No, not
Acha.
COVID. So just
Okay.
basic
The
details of
basic
place
details.
of your residence, yeah, things
Okay,
like that.
okay, okay.
And
For
also
their
apart
record,
from
they
that,
must have asked.
yes, sir. And
Hmm.
apart from that, the people who wanted the travel allowance,
Okay.
they had to fill in that letter or the
So,
document they had given.
okay, so you kept your bags, went into the hall, and after that, you got these two forms like that, right? LTA, वगैरह,
Yeah,
they must be asking. So, before OIR itself, they are doing this process.
yes, sir.
Okay, okay. So, all these forms were submitted and all that stuff. Then the OIR started,
Yes.
right?
Then we had to move to another hall
Oh,
where the
okay.
OIR was conducted.
Okay,
Yes,
so
sir.
then you move to another hall.
Yeah.
Okay, okay. And someone must be going with you. Like, I'm just curious, like how they are maintaining the social distancing. So someone was telling you again and again that, okay, I mean, because
Yes, sir.
when we move in a group, we talk a lot and we, like that, it happens.
Yeah. So, but actually, initially, like this was just the starting of the day.
ठीक है.
So, not many people had still, made friends. It was
Okay,
only during the OIR and the group discussion of PPDT, a lot of friends were made, and even in
correct,
the break. So, at this
correct.
point of time, not many,
Okay, so
like there wasn't any need to talk also
everyone was like, their own, and they
to
were moving
themselves.
and they themselves. So you were told to wear that shield which you have brought, or this is just mask only?
The shield was optional, sir, but we had to
Okay,
compulsorily wear masks and
okay.
gloves while writing.
Okay, so shield is optional while writing, but while moving, like shield is not at all used till now, right?
Till now, it's not used, but in
Is not.
further when we talk
Yeah, yeah.
about it,
Now it
yes,
is
it
not. Okay, okay. Till now it is
goes to.
not used. So we are wearing the mask and we are wearing the gloves and we are moving forward. So okay, now we have reached the OIR hall. So
Yes, sir.
now how was the process? What was the discussion like? The officer itself must be wearing some mask, and was he in uniform, or how was the
Yes, sir.
process? Yeah.
The thing is, we actually before OIR we had a small break, like a tea
Okay.
break, and we had tea, and then again we had to assemble. They asked us to move to the OIR hall,
Okay.
and as you were saying, we were constantly being monitored, and they were constantly telling us to maintain social distancing and
Okay.
wear our masks because a lot of them were not wearing the masks right.
अच्छा ठीक है.
It was below the nose, so
Okay.
they were very a lot of scrutiny was involved over there.
Okay.
And
Okay.
then after going to the OIR hall, the person who addressed us was she was not in the uniform.
Okay.
She was just in the normal clothes because
Civilians. Okay.
I yes sir, because I believe I don't think they are officers
Okay.
because they're part of the psychology part, or
Psychology
I'm
part.
not sure
Okay. Okay.
because they were not wearing uniforms
Okay.
at
And
that
she
point of
she
time.
was also wearing mask. And so after the tea,
Yes
you
sir.
all assembled in another hall. And then she entered, and so she gave you some instructions regarding the OIR.
Yes sir.
Okay. So what were the instructions, and like how many papers were there? How many questions were there? And how much time was given?
Okay. So, sir, there were first of all there were around two booklets,
Okay.
and each booklet had around approximately 45 to 50 questions.
Okay.
So, the time we were not there was no watch. Nor were we
Okay.
allowed to wear a sorry, there was no clock. Nor were
Okay.
we allowed to wear a watch into
Okay.
the
So you
OIR
cannot
test.
track time, like how much time it
Yeah,
is. Correct.
we
Okay.
cannot track, but I think approximately it is around like 25 minutes or 20 to 25 minutes
Okay.
for each booklet. So it was
Okay.
two booklets, 40 questions each book, 40 to 50 questions each booklet,
Okay.
and around 20 to 25 minutes to solve it.
Okay.
So, yes, sir. So before each booklet, before we started solving each booklet,
Hmm.
um, the the officer or the person, the
Hmm.
instructor,
Hmm.
she in fact told us how to. She solved five questions with us. As
Acha.
actually, before
Okay.
you start off the test, there
Okay.
are standard five questions in each
Okay.
booklet where
Like a
both of
example
you will
kind of
solve.
thing.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So
So
how
both
you should
so
solve like that?
yes, sir.
Yes.
So we
Okay.
both solved together,
Okay. Okay.
and after that, the OIR tests were conducted.
Okay, okay, okay. So we'll not have this thing in detail, but in brief, can you please tell us like what kind of questions were there in OIR, like English idioms and phrases, comprehension? Because a lot of candidates have doubts. They are telling me that I am learning a lot of synonyms and antonyms word, but I don't think that is asked in the OIR. So what kind of questions are asked in OIR over there, like because you have been
Uh,
recently?
yes, sir. Yes, sir. So basically, it was divided into verbal and non-verbal,
Okay,
and in both, in the majority of questions asked were dice related. It's like
okay.
around 75 to 80% of both booklets together were dice related
So it
problems.
is divided
So
into verbal and non-verbal, means one sheet is
yes, sir.
verbal, another is non-verbal, or on the same sheet itself verbal and non-verbal.
No, sir. It's basically they give it in booklets. So
Yeah,
one booklet and OR one,
yeah,
and
yeah.
the
So that
second
booklet
paper is the
itself,
second booklet.
yeah. So one booklet
Yes, sir.
itself is having both type of questions, verbal and non-verbal.
No, sir. It is divided. One will have
Okay,
only verbal,
okay.
one will have
So
only
booklet one
non-verbal.
is verbal and booklet two is non-verbal questions like that.
Yes, sir. Yes, it was like
Okay,
that.
okay.
And coming to the synonyms, a lot of grammar, it was basic grammar, sir. It was
Okay.
not over the
So
top
first, first,
grammar. It was,
first, let's discuss the non-verbal part, which you have told. So 72 maximum questions for dice kind of problems and
yes, sir.
figure-like problems. Apart from that, what kind of questions were there? Direction problems
Uh,
for their age relation, something like that.
yes, sir. Of very few, around 10% were math problems.
Math
Like
problems. Okay.
math problems, again, it was very basic. Like, I think profit, question about profit and loss was there,
Very
or
basic.
gain.
Okay.
Yeah, very basic.
Okay.
So, but sir, majority and the other thing was little of ratio proportion. Again, that
Okay.
was very basic, sir.
Very
Like
basic.
it was not next, like not very advanced, nothing. It was very basic.
Okay.
But the one pattern I saw is in both booklets, logical reasoning. That is your pattern-based
Okay.
questions and
Okay.
dice-related
Okay.
questions. So
Okay.
these were the maximum asked questions.
Okay, so in the there is a part in AFCAT exam, right? So we have a military aptitude. So those kind of questions, dot problems for there, like that questions for there, or like it's different
Yes, sir.
logical reasoning like that,
It was similar to that, not
similar to that.
exactly that, but it was very
Okay,
similar to that.
okay, okay, okay.
It was
So
kind of the same, as in
okay,
same as in the way of asking.
a way of asking. Okay, so
Yes.
this is for the verbal. Like what kind of questions in verbal? Did we had comprehension, idioms and phrases? What kind of verbal questions were there? Like
So comprehension, we did not have, we were not given any passage or anything like that.
anything? Nothing was there.
But
Yeah.
yeah, but a few idioms and phrases were asked,
Okay,
and a few grammar, very basic grammar
very
questions were
basic. Okay,
asked.
okay.
Yeah, and also, I'm not sure what, I think it's called syllogism or something. I'm
Huh,
not sure of the name.
syllogism. No
Basically, they
problem.
give you,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah, yeah.
yeah, it's
Yeah, like that.
relationship between words.
Yes, yes, yes.
Yes, sir. So
Okay.
things like that were asked.
Venn diagrams and all that stuff was there?
Uh, s- mm, no, so
No.
there were no Venn diagrams in particular,
Okay.
but perhaps the questions would require you to use Venn diagrams to solve because it is
Okay.
a
Like
syllol,
that.
the whatever, yeah.
Yeah,
So
syllogism. Yeah.
yes, sir.
So
So that's
those
it is
require that
same.
kind of questions to be solved. Okay. So
Yeah.
so OIR is complete, and so let's let's have this in a series itself. So how did you prepare for OIR? Like how what questions you were solved, and what did you prepare? How did you prepare?
Sir, I first of all I didn't take any coaching, so
Okay.
all of my preparation was based off YouTube and
Okay.
Google.
Okay.
So there were a few defense direct books
Okay.
and a few free books online where
PDFs.
it was only PDFs. Where it was
Okay.
only OIR tests were conduct. I mean, there were OIR questions,
Okay.
and also I joined a few Telegram groups
Okay.
where books were given like in
Okay.
PDF format
Okay.
where OIR tests and all were covered in those books.
Okay.
So I refer to all those books. And but one thing, sir, not all books. They like even though there are a lot of OIR questions,
Hmm.
they're not accurate. The answers, not everything is accurate. So you should get
Okay.
your concept. Like that's what I did. I
Okay.
just got the concept right
Okay.
and didn't exactly go according to the answer key because not everything
Acha.
was correct.
Acha.
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
So you just followed the questions from the PDFs. That's it, and those were the things which you solved. Nothing special.
Yes, sir.
Did you get any? Did you buy any book or anything? Nothing, right? Just you online free stuff, whatever PDF is available, or did you get any book?
No, so actually, since from I had my placements, engineering placements.
Okay.
At that time, I had bought an R.S. Agarwal book,
Verbal,
and I had
non-verbal.
just gone through. No, not verbal, non-verbal. So only
Okay.
quantitative aptitude.
Quantitative.
So
Okay.
yeah, it was a big book,
Yes. Yes.
and also for AFCAT, it required you needed
Hmm.
math, right, sir?
Hmm. Hmm.
So all the preparation for the questions I had done from that, and
Okay.
also some R.S. Agarwal books online, the verbal and non-verbal also I had
Yes.
referred to,
Okay.
but in I didn't really go through it because the whatever I had gone through online, the
Hmm.
sources said don't concentrate a lot on math concepts because it's
Hmm.
going to be very basic. So
Okay.
whatever basic math is all right,
It's
but
all right.
concentrate a lot on logical reasoning.
Okay.
So because and then I saw myself in the OIR test there because most of it was logical reasoning.
Okay.
So a very basic preparation I had done so for the
Okay.
math part.
Okay. So
Yeah.
OIR. So OIR is complete. So as in general, as in general, just how tough is OIR? Like, do we need to think a lot, and does it need a lot of preparation, or like it's okay even if someone is good at average student can without preparation also solve most of the questions? Is it like that?
No, sir. Definitely it requires preparation, sir,
Little bit
because
preparation is required.
yes, sir. Because OIR also, I've heard it is inclusive of your screening
Yes.
in.
Yes. Yes.
So I did not take any chance. Some like there were some people on Quora saying, don't give much importance to OIR, give
Okay.
importance only to PPDT.
Okay.
But there were some people saying just give equal importance. And I thought
Okay.
when I'm going for it, it's better
You
to
should give.
be
Yes.
prepared well and give it
Yes.
your best.
So what
So
was the
because of
like?
that, I did give importance and
So what
prepare
was
for
the
it, sir.
level of that? Like you will say easy, moderate, or like very tough? How was? And let's compare it to the AFCAT written exam. So how as compared to AFCAT written, is it very easy or like it's equivalent to AFCAT
It's
written
it's
itself?
it's equivalent to AFCAT written
Almost.
itself because the logical reasoning asked in AFCAT written was very similar,
Okay.
and the English part I feel it was little easier compared to AFCAT, the
Okay.
paper.
Okay. Okay.
So yes, sir, that's about it.
Basic general grammar questions were asked like that.
Yes, sir.
Okay, okay, okay. So let's now go on like your OIR was completed. And so one thing is that you are still wearing that having those gloves on and then only you're solving, right? So it must be a little
Yes, sir.
difficult, right?
Yes, it was difficult, but
Hmm.
we had no option. We had to get accustomed to it because we were asked to, and it was for
Okay,
our own safety, right? So,
right. So everyone was
uh,
wearing the gloves and solving. So, okay. So
yes,
now
sir.
OIR is complete and in the same hall, then PPDT process started?
Yes, sir. The PPDT process after OIR test,
Hmm.
they gave us like I think a 2 minute break or something, a very short break,
Okay,
and then started off with the PPDT. They told us in advance. They
okay,
just ran us through, and they
okay,
also played a slide. Like they
okay,
showed us a slide,
okay,
and then because they have this buzzer sound, they're just
okay,
making us accustomed to all that. They
okay,
showed us a picture, and then they told it'll be like this only.
okay.
So then after that we had our picture.
Okay, so they showed you a sample picture, must be for 30 seconds, and how the process would be
Yes,
like.
sir.
It will start with a sound and it will stop with a sound like that they have showed you.
Yes,
Correct.
sir.
Okay, then the real PPT picture started, right?
Yes, sir.
So what was that real PPT picture? How blurred it was and what was kind of like as per you? What was it?
Sir, it was actually not very blurred because all the character, I mean, there was only one character. So our picture was a middle-aged man
Okay,
sitting in a room on a
okay,
sofa, and
okay,
he seemed to be tired because his hand was on his forehead,
okay,
and behind him there were a lot of books. So it was like,
okay,
you know, not exactly like library, you'll have a lot of books in shelves. So
okay,
behind him were a lot of books in shelves,
okay.
and he was sitting, like, you know, little
Tired, something
dejected.
like that.
Yeah,
Okay. So
tired,
this,
I guess.
okay, this was the kind of picture which was shown.
Yes, sir.
Some room kind of thing. It's a we sitting in a home and like that, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, okay. So the picture must be shown for 30 seconds, and then you were given the sheets again to write the person, mood, gender, like that. Gender,
Yes,
mood,
sir.
sex, like that. Okay. So how
Hmm.
much time was given for that? 30 seconds more, approximately.
So I think, sir, actually, I don't remember
Okay,
the
approximately
uh,
30
time.
seconds, and then they gave you
Yeah, so
to.
approximately 30 seconds was shown. I mean,
Okay,
we shown the picture for around 30 seconds, I believe.
okay,
And uh, I think the time was around 3 minutes or something to write.
to
Like
write the
the
story.
standard time, yeah, the
Okay,
standard time which is given to all PPDTs, that
okay,
was what was given here. But
okay,
I'm not recalling whether it was 4 minutes or 3 minutes. I think it was
okay,
3 minutes 30 seconds. I'm not sure.
okay. So 3 minutes 30 seconds
Yes, sir.
approximately to write the story. So you
Yes,
all
sir.
have written the story. So we missed out one part. When were you given the chess numbers? That we missed out. So when were you given the chess
Oh,
numbers?
yes, sir.
Yeah,
So given the chess numbers, I told you we had a small tea break,
pre
yes, sir.
break. Yes, yes.
Yeah, after that we were given our chess numbers.
Okay, so you were given the chess numbers. Okay, so now the
Yeah.
PPDT story. Everyone has written the PPDT story. Then how did they divide the group? You were sitting in the hall itself. Some group was moving. Where was the this discussion conducted? In an open ground or in a hall?
No, sir. So we were sitting the hall in which we were sitting for OIR and PPDT.
Hmm.
From over there itself, starting from the front row,
Okay,
they grouped people. Like we
okay.
had around
117
apart
was
from
there.
me, yeah, seven around 6 to 7 people in a group.
Okay,
In my group, there were around 7 people, including me.
okay,
So as we were like they had divided us after we finished our test, and they
okay,
asked us to move to the respective halls,
okay.
and people were there. They guided us
Got it.
on the way.
Got it.
Yes, sir.
Okay, okay.
And
So yeah,
our group. Sorry, I missed out this part, sir. Our
yeah,
group
yeah.
discussion was conducted in a room.
In a room itself. Okay, that was
Yes,
about to
sir.
ask. Okay, so individual
Yeah.
narration and group discussion were conducted in the room itself.
Yes, sir.
Right. And you were asked, right, before giving the chess numbers, you must have asked that you are a fresher who's coming for the first time and then who is a repeater, like that they
Yes,
make
sir.
groups, right?
Yes, sir. I'm
Okay, okay.
sorry, sir. I missed that out.
No problem.
So
Yeah.
this right before, like before we when they gave us our chess numbers itself.
Hmm.
Before, in
Hmm.
fact, before giving our chess numbers, they
Okay.
first asked the freshers to
Oh,
stand in one spot.
okay. Okay.
They asked the repeaters who had got screened out. That was another group,
Okay.
and repeaters who got conferenced out were another group.
Okay. Okay.
And
Like that.
also and also the recommended candidates were with the repeaters who had got conferenced out.
Conference hall itself. Okay,
Yeah.
okay. So there were total three groups, and then they gave the chess numbers
Yes,
and
sir.
all. So now we are
Yes,
at
sir.
that you have got the chess numbers, you have written the story, and then you are moving towards the hall. So you reach the hall. There
Yes,
must
sir.
be a semicircle. Three people must be
Yes,
sitting
sir.
like that. Same
Yes, sir.
scenario. Okay. They're
It
also
was
social.
actually not a hall, sir. It was actually a room, to be precise. It was not
Okay.
very big. It
Kind of
was
small,
just a
kind
room.
of okay, kind of
Yeah.
small room kind of thing. Semicircle was there. Social distancing, everything was maintained, and three people must be
Yes, sir.
sitting, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so he must have given you some instruction. Okay, so we'll start with the individual narration and all that. So that instructions
Yes,
we
sir.
can skip. Any special instructions you feel related to COVID did they give, or like anything like
No, sir.
general instructions like we'll start with the narration. You will get at around 1 minute. Do it like this and left to right. Like
Nothing like that, sir. They just it was just general
general
instructions, sir.
instructions, nothing special.
Yeah.
Okay,
Nothing special.
so you started with your individual narration with the story,
Yes, sir. Yes,
and
sir.
three people must be there. Three assessors.
Three SSs were there, sir.
Okay, okay. They were in the uniform or they were in the civils?
They were in civil, so they were not
Civils
in
only.
uniform.
Okay, no one is in
Yeah.
uniform. Okay. So then the individual narration started and then group discussion started.
Yes, sir.
So since you were a freshers batch, how was the group discussion? Like was that chaos or like what was it? Like how did you feel in the group discussion?
Sir, actually, I was thankful that in our group discussion, all
Okay.
of us had there was, first of all, there was no fish market scene at our group
Okay.
discussion.
Okay.
We all gave each other a chance to talk,
Okay.
and luckily, we all had like a common thing in our story.
Okay.
So, because as I had told you before,
Uh,
there were a lot of books behind.
uh,
So, we all
Connected the
narrowed down
story to the
to,
book, maybe.
yeah, no, we connected the story to saying that the person must be in the teaching field because there
Acha.
are a lot of books, right? So that
Okay.
he's in a teaching field where you have to keep reading from books a lot. I mean,
Okay.
yeah,
Okay. Kind of thing.
approximately kind of
Like
something
that.
like that.
So
And all our
approximately.
individual narrations, yes, sir, all our individual narrations had this one common line. So I
Okay.
think because we had all had a very common thing,
Okay.
there was not much of arguments.
Not
This
much.
is
Not
a
much of it.
discussion.
Okay. Okay.
Yes, sir.
And then someone must have narrated the story, the conclusion. So
Yes, sir.
that also took part, right? It's a normal
Yes,
process
sir.
which is being followed.
That's a normal process. And they're also mentioned in the instructions that, like, the person who narrates finally, it's not that that person will get extra points. It's
Okay.
just that he's representing your group
Representing a
and
group.
narrating.
Okay.
So there's not no like preferential treatment just
Not
because the
preferred.
person. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So
And
yeah.
sir, one
Yeah.
more thing coming to the PPDT,
Hmm.
I feel in PPDT, this was my
Hmm.
experience
Hmm.
because
Hmm.
I had not completed my story while
Okay.
writing.
Okay.
My time was very short.
Okay.
I did not complete it, but
Okay.
the narration, I knew what I was narrating, so I was
Right.
very confident in my narration.
Okay.
So, which is why I got screened in.
Okay. Okay.
So
So
there's a myth that you
yeah.
should write your PPDT complete
Uh,
because in my case it was not like that. So I
uh,
don't think it's a myth. It's just
it's a
that you should be
compulsory thing.
confident while narration.
Okay. Okay. You should have
Yeah.
the theme in your mind and then sequence of
Yes, sir.
situations which are happening.
Yes, sir.
So one thing, one other doubt which they have is like when you have written that sheet, so you took that sheet with yourself to that hall, discussion hall on that on the sheet which you have written the story, right?
Uh, no, sir. They had given it to us. Like they had collected
Like in that
it.
hall itself they have collected. Like I just want to ask the assessors who were who were checking you for the this individual narration and group discussion, did they read that story which you have written on the sheet or no?
So perhaps they would have read it as we are narrating it
Okay.
because they had the sheets with them. See, while narrating,
Acha,
the
they
sheets
had the
was not
sheets with
with
them.
us.
Okay.
Yes, so they had the sheets with them.
Okay. So
So
so before
I
itself
did
they
not
had
read.
it, or like you gave you collected yourself and gave it to them, or like it was before itself with them, like someone else must have given it to them.
It was there with them before itself, sir.
Okay, 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 okay. So they had the sheets. Now you had the individual narration, you had
Yes,
the
sir.
group discussion, and you. How much time were they giving for the individual narration? Approximately 1 minute, 1.5 minutes,
Approximately 1 minute. 1 minute, sir.
1 minute, and
Approximately.
they
Yeah.
must
In
be
fact,
telling.
even they told us.
Okay, then they will must be telling next like that.
Yes, sir.
Okay, okay.
Yes, sir.
And after the last candidate, they just started the group discussion. The group
Yes,
discussion
sir.
just started.
We started it automatically. Yeah.
Automatically it starts. Okay. So
Yes, sir.
I just want to tell everyone that whenever the last candidate tells the individual narration, then they will not tell you that start the group discussion. Okay. So you have to automatically start. A lot of candidates wait for them to tell.
Hmm.
I am right?
But sir, actually, yeah. But the thing is, in their instructions itself, they have
Okay.
mentioned this
They have
point too,
mentioned
sir.
this.
That
Yes.
yeah, that after the last person finishes speaking, please
Yes.
start the group discussion or by yourselves,
By yourself.
and don't wait for us to make you start the group discussion.
Okay. Okay.
So because so listening to the instructions itself is a big thing. Like
It's a big
you
thing.
get
Yes.
half of your problem is solved there of
Yes, yes. So
thinking what
listening
would
to
happen if
instructions, yeah. So listening to instructions means the process would be little more clear to you that how the things will move forward. So your
yes,
individual
sir.
narration was very confident that I got the point. How many times did you speak in group discussion? How was a group discussion as per your side? Like, were you able to speak, or like how much time did you speak, or did you initiate, or did you start in third and fourth per time? Like, how was that as per you?
Sir, I did not really initiate it, sir, but
Okay,
then I just contributed to the group.
contributor.
So I
Okay,
put across my story,
okay,
and I just told. The thing is, since there was one catch I mentioned in the picture, the
okay,
person seemed to be tired and things like that.
Right.
But when I wrote the story, I
Uh,
had put the person in a positive mode, like he
okay.
was in a positive mood. Sorry.
Okay.
So I justified myself, saying
Hmm.
why he was positive via my story,
Okay.
and also while in the group discussion, I just there's one point which I said that all of us have a very common theme, so why
Okay.
not we build on it? That's the education point of view.
Got
So
it.
perhaps yeah.
Very
So
good.
I asked
That was
others
a
to
very good
build
point.
upon.
Yeah, as per me also, that is very good point, that collecting the group together on a common point, that is the main
Yes,
aim of that group discussion, and that you did. I think that because of that, they must have seen, because your individual narration was on, you said it with confidence, your OIR was good, and then in the group discussion itself, you are bringing the group together. So I think that was the thing which worked for you, as per me also.
yes, sir. Yes,
Okay,
sir.
okay. So,
But actually, sir, one thing to tell I felt I did not do that well in my OIR,
okay.
because a few questions I feel, because it was like a race against time.
Huh, huh.
So I felt that some questions I didn't really get time to think and write properly. So
Acha.
I was not satisfied with my OIR performance.
Okay,
But PPDT, I made up my mind that I have to make up for whatever I feel I've not
okay.
done well in OIR. So
Right.
because of that, my PPDT went fine.
PPT went fine. Okay. So now the discussion and all is over. Then you were taken back to the same hall, or you assembled afterwards somewhere in the ground, like.
Sir, after our group discussions, we were asked to assemble in a ground, like the
Okay.
place where we had reported, because
Okay.
that was a common place of reporting.
Okay. Okay.
And there they asked us to have lunch, like they gave us lunch.
Okay. Okay.
So
So
the lunch was
before telling the results, everyone was given lunch. So lunch was in a hall or like open area, like the tea you were getting. So you got the lunch.
uh, yes, sir. So for us, the lunch on the screening day was not in a hall; it was in the open area,
Okay.
and it was all in packets. It was in covers.
Acha. Acha.
So
Nothing
because
as
they
such in
didn't.
plates and all. Just you take it and throw
Yes,
it
yes.
away like that.
Yeah,
So
all disposable
all disposable.
items.
Okay,
Yes,
okay,
sir.
okay. But while having the lunch also, you must be, standing very far, 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 and gloves on, everything like
Actually,
that. It must be a
sir,
little
while
funny,
having
right?
lunch, yes, sir.
uh,
While having lunch, we obviously removed our gloves and mask.
uh,
But yes, by that time we kind of made few friends here and there. So we were kind of in groups.
little bit,
But then again, yeah, because there's a person always supervising us. He
okay,
constantly, used to tell us, please move
okay,
away, and
okay, okay,
things like that.
okay,
Constantly in the sense just once or twice, because
okay.
once he would tell us, we used to
हाँ,
make sure
ठीक है,
to maintain distance.
ठीक है. So,
So that's
so
about it.
you had your lunch, and then everyone must have assembled again, and then they started with the
Yes, sir.
result.
Yes, sir. After everything, the group discussions went on for a long time because a lot of groups
A lot
and
of groups, and
yeah,
117 girls. I'm really shocked that 117 girls have reported, because I am getting reports that only 20, 25, 30 candidates are reporting, and 117 girls are reporting. It's a very good point, and you got
yeah,
selected. That is a, getting screened in 117 is a very big part. It looks easy,
yes.
but it's not that easy. Yeah.
Yes, sir, actually. And then we were asked to form a line, and we were asked to move to another location for the
Okay.
results part of it.
Acha.
And the results, again, social distancing was maintained.
Ha ha
They made a stand,
ha.
and the results were announced. The chess numbers who were screened in were
Okay.
announced,
Okay.
and they asked us to then take our luggage and move to
Okay.
the rooms
Move to the
specified.
rooms. Okay, okay. So your chest number was announced and you were happy, and then you took your luggage and moved towards the room like that, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay,
Yes,
so
sir.
approximately how much time would have been there? Like, for example, it must have been 4 o'clock or 5 o'clock till the result was announced, like that.
No, sir. It was the thing is everything happened so fast that our lunch itself,
Okay.
we had around 11:30, not even 12. I
Oh,
remember that
okay.
very well. Around
Okay.
11:30 or 11:45 was a lunch,
Okay.
but because there's still a lot of discussions going on, like
Okay.
I think the repeaters, their group discussions were little intense.
Okay.
So or maybe it was. I don't know, sir, but there's still discussions going
So
on,
it was taking
and by the
little
time
time.
everyone, yeah, it is
Uh,
taking a little time,
uh,
but the results were announced at around 1, sir. It was not dragged
1:30.
on till 4
Okay,
or
1
5.
1:30
Yeah,
at around it
1,
was announced.
1:30.
So you were in your rooms. The selected candidates were in their rooms at around 2:32 o'clock, like that.
Yes, sir.
Okay, okay. So you reached your room, And then
And so,
so yeah,
one point, sir, before we reached our room,
okay.
they gave us another chest number. They asked
Yeah,
us to
so
remove the
yes.
old chest number,
Okay, so chess
in
numbers would
changing
be
of chest
given. Yeah,
numbers.
chess numbers would be
Yes,
given. So
and then we were
100,
allotted.
then you were allotted room. Okay, so
Yes, sir.
117 girls reported, and out of that, 53 were selected.
Fif- Yes, 53 was screened in, sir.
53 were got screened in. Okay,
Yes,
so
sir.
1 to 53 chess numbers were given again, and you were allotted a room. So then it must be like 5 to 6 girls in one room like that. And then what was the instruction? Like, you will have something in the evening, or you can take rest and tomorrow we'll start.
So for us, surprisingly, they said there's nothing more for today. We'll
Okay,
have more tests tomorrow.
okay,
In your rooms.
okay,
And in our rooms, there were actually the number of girls in groups are variable.
okay,
And in my group, including me, there were 7 girls. A
okay,
few groups had 6 girls and things like that.
okay, okay.
So yes, that was variable.
So you reached the room, and that day was free for you, and you just took
Yeah.
rest. That's it.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, so within that hostel, or within that place which you were staying, so were you given any special instruction on that, that you don't have to go out and you don't have to go other room, like that must have been given, right? Or you don't have to go to library also, because they have some different rooms, entertainment room and all that.
Yes, sir. So basically, we were not allowed to go outside our hostel premises
Okay.
to the shop, or even there was basketball courts and badminton courts just outside. We were
Hmm.
not given access to that.
Okay.
So we had to. The main instruction was to just stay wherever you are,
Wherever we are.
and
Okay.
our mess building was just next to our the
Check it.
place where we were
Nearby.
residing in.
Okay.
So these two were the only places we could access.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
So everyone was took rest on the first day, and then
Yes, sir.
in the night they must have done the mustering, that count of the candidates they must have done, like you must have they reported somewhere,
Yes, sir.
and then they told that tomorrow morning you must be having psychology test, like that. It must have started
Yes,
then.
sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir. So after dinner, we had they had a call where all of us all of us had reported,
Hmm, hmm.
and they just told us that tomorrow at morning, I think around 9 o'clock, our psychological test started the
Okay,
next day.
okay, okay. So next day also you were like, one thing is that in the room, so what all things they are providing, and what all did you carry? Like, no, I'm not asking about the personal items, but general, as in general, are they providing like pillows and bed sheets and this mattress and all, or drinking water, or like what all things did you carry, as in general, not personal items, like.
Sir, we were given double-decker beds,
Okay.
and
So double decker,
the bed.
both the candidates were staying like that, like upper also, below also.
No, sir. Actually, only one person for one double-decker
Fun
bed.
double.
But
Okay.
since our room had an odd number, 7,
Okay.
uh, so one of us had to share beds. So
Acha.
since I was the last one,
Okay.
I slept on top of one of the beds.
Okay.
All the other beds had only one person on
So they there were mattresses and
lower.
all were there, and this one bed sheets were there that
Yes,
they
sir.
have given.
The bed sheets. Sir, the bed sheets for the bed was there. Like if you
Okay.
want to carry something to put
Acha,
on
acha,
yourself, you
acha,
have to
acha.
carry that.
Okay,
And even
okay,
the pillows, pillow covers too.
okay, okay, okay. But general, as in mattress and all, they are providing, and drinking water,
Yes,
everything.
sir.
Like, you did not face any problem as such, that due to COVID there was
No,
some
sir.
different special scenarios with respect to that, or
Uh,
like.
No, sir. Nothing
Nothing
like
is it.
that.
Okay, okay. So let's come to the next day, because first day you took rest and all that. Whatever you have done, you must have studied or something else. So that is fine. So next day, then the psychology test. So you must have reported in the same room where PPDT must have started, right?
Yes, sir. We reported
Okay,
in the same
okay. You
place.
reported on the same day. So the psychology must have, and the same lady must have come, the psychologist who took
Yes,
your
sir.
PPDT.
Yes,
Okay.
sir. Same
So
assessor.
same assessor came. Okay. So she started with the TAT, then WAT, then SRT and ST.
Yes, sir.
Like that it was.
The basically on first we had the word association test,
First you had
then
WAT or
kinetic.
TAT?
First we had sorry, sir. First we had TAT.
Yeah, yeah.
And then we had word
WAT.
association test,
Okay. Then the
then
SRT.
situation reaction, yeah, SRT, and then
Okay.
individual description of yourself.
Okay. 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 So before going to that, we missed out one point. So when was the PIQ film form filled? You must have
Hmm.
filled PIQ form.
Yes, sir, we did fill the PIQ form. We filled the PIQ form on the second day itself before our psychology test.
Acha.
We were given
Okay.
2 forms to fill up,
Okay.
and
So before the
and sir,
psychology test
one thing
itself.
I would Yes, sir. One thing I would like to say with the PIQ form,
Hmm.
this may sound it's of like a very basic information, but
Hmm.
uh, writing in blue ink is better because what happened is one of the
Hmm.
candidates,
Hmm.
she had made a mistake where
Okay.
mistake as in since all the lines and all were in black and she had
Black.
written in black ink,
Okay.
so the lines coincided with what she's written. So the
Acha.
when she went to the for the interview, the
Okay.
interviewing officer thought she's made a mistake in her own name
Oh,
and
okay. Got
he
your
was
point.
little
So
annoyed at the fact.
this is a very, very minute point that if you are writing I like that with a black point, so the lower part of the I will coincide with that
Yes,
line
sir.
and it will look like
Exactly.
T.
Yes, sir. So then,
Okay.
so that will be a point of annoyance from it should not be good. So
Okay.
I feel writing in blue would be better to avoid all this.
Okay, okay, okay. So all the candidates just carry the blue pens. It is better, and generally also
It's
blue is
better also.
blue is also is the pens which generally people carry. But somehow if you are carrying black pen, so instead of that, just carry the blue pen. Correct.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so in the morning itself, you filled the PIQ form, then the psychology test started, and then TAT. So how many pictures were there in TAT? Like 11 plus one blank or 10 plus one blank? 10 plus one.
We had 10 plus 1 blank, I
10 plus 1
feel.
blank. Okay,
Yes,
okay.
sir.
So you remember approximately what kind of themes pictures were there? Approximately some pictures which you remember.
Yes, yes. Approximately, we had pictures where one picture was where a village, like there were huts. It looked
Okay,
like a village,
okay,
and one of it was on fire because there was smoke coming out, and there were
okay,
people around it. Like they looked very,
okay.
what
Okay,
to say?
something related to
Yeah,
fire. One picture
yeah.
is that. Another picture.
Then one more picture was it was very women centric. So the other pictures I
Okay,
remember,
okay.
one picture was I think someone's snatch like not snatching, like coming close to snatch this
Some
chain or something like that.
women something jewelry like that.
Yeah. So
Okay,
these two I remember distinctively.
okay.
The others I don't really remember. But one thing which is common is it was very women centric because
One
there
centric.
was a woman character in everything.
Okay, so since the
And
batch itself for all the
pictures,
girls, so batch itself is
yes, sir.
for all the girls, so they must have shown pictures with where the hero, the protagonist could be a girl. So a girl must
Yes, sir.
most probably a girl would be there in the picture, like that picture should have been there.
Yes, sir.
Any other picture like where there was nothing like see in the picture where fire is there, you know that you have to make a story on fire, and snatching means you have to make a snatching. Any other picture where like you felt that it is very a neutral picture, you don't know what to do, like that very neutral picture, like
Uh,
someone is standing and
yes,
talking, some girl standing like that.
yes, there was one picture in which there were children, they were playing. Like
Okay,
it's very
nothing
vague
else.
since it's yeah,
Yeah,
they were just playing.
they're just playing
So we had to make a story on it. So that was like
like
one
that.
of the I think vaguest pictures in the
Okay.
TAT.
Okay. Anything? So the pictures in TAT are generally very clear as compared to PPDT, right? In PPDT we had a
Yes,
very
sir.
blurred picture, but in TAT the pictures are very clear. So
Yeah,
you know what
comparatively it's clear.
comparatively. So you know what you are writing, what is happening in the picture. You know that.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay.
Like we, it's obviously based on our perception of what's happening in the picture,
Hmm.
sir. But
Hmm.
it's more clear as you said before compared to
Compared to PPDT.
the PPDT.
Any accident kind of picture somewhere accident has happened, or military kind of picture, some soldiers are moving, or something like someone is drowning, something like that.
So we didn't have any military related pictures.
Okay,
Or maybe we would have like what a lot of people do is though there aren't like
they
though
make
the
it as
picture doesn't
military.
yeah they make it as military.
uh, uh,
So I didn't find a need for making anything as military
so
because
no.
of which military related. So
Okay,
there was no military related picture
okay,
according to me. So
someone
in the
drowning,
batch.
something like that, or some accident, something like that.
Yes, so there were like the fire accident. There
Fire is
were
there.
a few yeah there
Road
was a few
accident, something, road
water
accident.
accidents. No, sir, we didn't
Okay.
have. I think the other one was some faintly remember it was a water related accident, I
Okay,
think.
okay, okay, okay. So let's not stress on that. So then you must be having one this thing blank picture. So you must have prepared
Yes,
yourself with the blank picture. You went and wrote the story, and then WAT
yes, sir.
started.
Yeah.
Okay, so just WAT may I just would like to tell. So 15 seconds each word. Similar, 15 seconds are
Yes.
given for one word and then you have to write the sentence. It's the
Yes,
same
sir.
thing. It's the same thing, no process change, right? Nothing else. It's the same thing.
No, it's the same
So,
thing. But
so
the words are shown on a screen.
on a projector screen, the words are
Yeah, on
shown,
a
and
projector
that's
screen.
how you have to do. Okay, so what words do you remember? Like blood, like that, attack, some general words, or like any word you do you remember, like very special word which stick to your mind that acha, this is very uncommon which came.
Not exactly. So like it was very
Common
general,
words,
like whatever I had practiced. Yeah.
any
There are
any particular word of which the meaning you did not knew, any word like that.
nothing. No, sir.
So
I
so
know.
generally the words are very common which are used in our daily language, like trust,
Yes, sir. It
attack,
was
blood,
simple. Yeah. Yeah.
red, like that, war.
Yeah.
Okay, okay. So the TAT happened, then WAT happened, then SRT. So for
Hmm.
SRT, they must have given you some booklet.
Hmm.
Okay, and in
Yes, sir.
that booklet, you have to read the situations and write it in some sheet, in that sheet itself.
Yeah.
So 60 SRTs were there,
Yeah. 60 were there.
and how much time was given? Approximately 30 minutes.
Yes, sir. 30 minutes were given.
30 minutes approximately. So,
Yeah.
and did you get any break between TAT and WAT, WAT, SRT? No breaks. It was
No, sir.
continuous, right?
Everything. Yeah. Everything was a continuous process.
Okay. So SRT completed. You took back your sheet. They took back your this SRT booklet, and then they told that okay, you have to write the ST, self description.
No, sir. Actually, on the same booklet, there was a space
To write the
for
self description.
SG. Yeah.
Okay. 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 So in that
So
same
everything was collectively in
everything
one
was
booklet.
collected in one booklet. So what were the instructions for self description? Like what all points you were like? What parents think of you? What manager? Like what was it? How was that?
Yes. So for us, we got what our parents think of us, what our
Okay.
teachers think of us,
Okay.
um, then what our friends think of us,
Okay.
and what our college may like. Uh, what I'm not
College
sure of the
friends.
first one.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
one was friends,
So how did
and
what you think of yourself must have been one of them, and
oh
how
yes,
you
sir. Yeah,
how
sorry.
and then how you can improve yourself like that. How you can improve yourself in some area, something like that. They must have given.
Yes, sir. So first they had asked us the views of the others on us,
Okay.
and then they had asked what areas we
I think
could
of yourself.
improve.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. 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 So this is done. SD is done, and
Hmm.
then you were back to your hostels.
Yes, sir. We're back
Okay.
to our places.
Back to our places. Okay. So generally, just tell me in brief of the whole psychology test. How did you prepare? Like, what did you do? Any book did you purchase, or just in general, not in very detail? Like you followed the same thing which you did for OIR, like online, and then you
Yes, sir.
practiced.
Yes, sir. I followed a lot of Telegram groups
Okay.
where they had, every day they put up a
Put
picture
up this.
and
Okay.
they were reviewing.
Okay.
So I took their help, and
Okay.
that's how I prepared for my
Okay.
psychology test.
And you were able to complete all the pictures. How many words were you able to complete? How were SRTs were you able to complete? Like, did you find time constraint is there in that process?
So there was definitely time constraint, but
Hmm.
it depends on how fast you write.
How
So that
fast you write?
boils down to your practice.
Okay.
So your practice is important. And in the pictures, one picture I was not able to complete properly.
Okay.
The other pictures I could come up with proper
Come up.
stories.
Okay.
And the SRTs also I could finish everything.
Okay.
And in the VAT, I think two I couldn't really attend.
Okay. So you attempted
Two,
58 and all that stuff.
yeah, yeah.
Okay. Okay. So psychology was complete. You so it must have took at around. So you went to the psychology after doing breakfast and all, right? So you must have come back and do the lunch then, right? You must have done the
Yes, sir.
lunch, and then
Yeah.
after doing lunch, you came back to your hostel, or the GTO started for you on that same day itself.
No, sir. We came back to a hostel. The next day
Then
was our group task.
next day was a group task, so that was free for you. Then you took rest and all
Yeah,
that, so that is fine.
yeah.
Okay, so now the GTO started. So the first part of the GTO is like they will take you to the hall, like that small room, and then you will have some GD.
Yes, sir. No, so for us, we first started off with the, uh, yes, sir. We started off with the
GD.
We had two GD. We had two GD rounds.
Two GD rounds.
In the first GD round, they gave us a lot of topics, out
Okay.
of which we chose
You chose.
a particular topic.
Okay.
And in the second GD, it was where sir, the assessor, chose the topic for us.
Okay, so in first group discussion, you were given some topics and you had the privilege to choose one of them on which you will discuss. In the second
Mm.
GD, gave you the topic on which you have to discuss.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so in your GTO, how many girls were there in your group? Seven, you were saying.
Yes, sir. So whatever group was initially formed, they were throughout.
So you were seven?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We were seven,
Seven girls
including
were
me.
there. Okay, including you,
Mm.
seven girls were there. So what was the GD topic which he gave? Do you remember any of the topics?
Sir, the first GD we had a lot of general topics,
Okay,
out
like
of which we chose how. One second, I've
which?
written it
Yeah,
down.
sure. You can just read it,
Yeah.
tell me.
So, yes, sir. So we chose a topic where the discussion topic was how Corona has affected our society,
Okay,
especially in the travel domain, medical industry, and educational industry.
okay.
So
So
this was what we had
this is
chosen.
what you have chosen. But apart from that, do you remember which you did not choose? Which he gave an example?
We had a lot of topics related to globalization. It was very
Globalization.
general, sir.
Okay,
Yeah,
general topics. Okay.
yeah.
So this first GD got over, and then
Hmm.
what was the second GD topic?
The second GD topic which gave us was, is globalization a boon or a bane?
Globalization. Okay.
Like, is it?
So
Yeah.
he himself
So
gave this topic to you.
yes, sir.
Okay. So how was the discussion overall? How do you feel the discussion went for your group?
The discussion
All
was
good.
fine.
Discussion was
Yeah,
fine.
there was a there was a little fish market scene,
Fishman. Okay.
but at the end of the day, we all put our points across.
Okay. So this GD was over. This was in a hall, a room, right? A closed room, and then it start. So one thing I just want to ask is, you must be wearing mask all the time. So was it like it must be a little difficult to convey the message, right? Like everyone must be wearing mask. Is it does it matter?
The thing is, it was hard to speak, obviously,
Hmm.
but then we had to be a little loud.
A little loud, right? The GD is over, and then GP must have the second task, right? Group planning exercise.
Yes. Then we had the group planning
Group
exercise,
planning exercise. Okay.
and yeah,
So
and
yeah. Go ahead.
yes, sir. So it was normally, we were given situations. We were given like five or six situations, and
So
then we had
so
to
so what was the situation? Do you
prioritize
remember?
and
Yeah,
come up with
prior.
solutions.
Yeah. So what was the like someone bomb and like that situation? Someone died. Something. So what was that? Do you remember? Like what was the situation? You were-
I faintly remember
Okay.
we there was a railway track, and then there were bombs placed near the railway track.
Okay.
That was
One.
one, and
Okay.
then there was a lighthouse where uh, terrorists had come and
Okay.
attacked the operator of the lighthouse, and they'd stolen the
Okay.
boat.
Number
So
two.
he's profusely bleeding. That's number two. And
Okay.
third is his chain was taken away
Okay.
by the thing, and maybe sorry, his chain was lost in
Okay.
all this.
Okay.
That is the third thing.
Okay.
Then the fourth thing was there was a marriage party going on in
Okay.
another part of the place, where
Okay.
the terrorists were planning to even steal from there.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
Yeah, and yes, sir, this was the main thing,
Some
the
random
main
problem
situation.
like the cow was lost or something like that, or
No, sir.
some
In this case, it was the gold necklace was
gold necklace got snatched away. Okay.
yeah.
So the GP is over. So for GP, there was a model in front of you like that, or there was a map poster in front of you. How was the GP map, the village map?
Yeah. Oh yeah, there was a GP map.
There's a
There's a
GP map.
model basically.
There's a model
Yeah.
based on that. So the now we are considering GP was completed and then the discussion was done. So how much time approximately do you remember? You must have got to write the solution on the paper. 5 minutes, 10 minutes,
Around we got, yeah, between 5 and 10 minutes.
between 5 and 10 minutes. You were given
Yeah.
to write the solution and then the discussion, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. So after the discussion, Then what was the next task? PGT?
Yes, after the GP task, we had the group tasks. I
Group
mean,
task.
sorry,
So
yeah, the
yeah, yeah,
group tasks where we had
PGT.
to
Yeah,
move
yeah,
around.
PGT,
Yeah.
PGT. So you went into the ground and then you started with the group task and all that.
Yes,
So
we were giving some tea biscuits before it,
before it,
tea
okay,
and biscuits before the task,
okay,
and then we went into the ground.
ground. So
And
PGT started.
yes, PGT started. So
All seven girls must have been there, and the load must be there, and Balli Fatta rope.
mm,
Same things.
yes,
Okay,
yes,
okay,
same thing.
okay, okay. So overall, how do you feel that what was the difficulty of the PGT task as in general? Like as in group, I am asking, was your group able to solve, or like how was it as in general PGT task for your group?
The thing is, since it was all we were all freshers in our group,
Freshers, correct.
so that we didn't do it that well. So the
Okay,
group tasks,
okay,
the
but you
PGT,
okay the PGT, but he must be giving some hints and all that, so you must have
yes.
started with all that.
Yes, so we cleared the two sections, two
So two
problems
PGT,
properly.
okay, two PGT you cleared. That's good. Okay, yeah, that's good.
The third one we couldn't do well.
Couldn't. Okay, okay, okay. So after PGT, then what task was you were
Uh,
taken?
yeah. So after PGT, we had a half group task.
Half group task. Okay, so
Yeah,
your group
yeah,
must
we
have been
divided.
divided into two. So
Yeah,
four and
yeah,
three he must have divided. Okay, so
yes, sir.
odd chess number, even chess numbers like that, or like
Yes,
half
sir.
half,
We divided like that,
like
odd
that,
and even.
odd and even. Okay, okay. And odd and even must be divided, and then you perform the same half group task on some different this thing, right? Some different structures,
Different
some
structure and
different
different
structures,
obstacle.
different
Yeah.
obstacles. Okay, so that was done. Then after that, after HGT,
Uh, After that, we had a full group task.
full group
So
tasks. Okay, so again
yeah, so
reassemble the group, and then everyone will do
yes, sir.
like that.
We had
Okay,
that. Yeah.
okay, okay. After that, so you had
Uh,
that you had this GTO in a single one day, or it was divided into 2 days?
it was only one day.
Only
Everything
one
was
day.
done in one.
Okay. So
Yeah.
after FGT, I'm thinking like individual obstacle, or this thing must have been there lecturate,
No,
or
after that we had a lecturate.
okay, okay. You had
Yeah,
lecturate after
and
FGT.
yeah. Actually, I'm sorry, I kind of made a mistake in the order.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
we had a half group task,
Okay,
then we had a lecturate, and then
okay,
we had full group task.
okay, okay, okay. So in
Yeah.
the lecturate, what topics do you remember? Not first tell me your topic, which you spoke or which you got. Then we will come other your group members which they got.
Yeah. So the topics again they were very basic in nature, sir.
Okay,
So I chose stress control and stress management.
okay.
Yeah, and the other topics
And
I were
you
given
got
were,
four topics, right? And
yeah, we
after
got
out
four
of that,
topics.
you chose one stress control, like stress management.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
And what were
and
the topics do you remember for you or for the other group members?
uh, I had the other topics I faintly remember was emotional intelligence,
Okay.
and it was just the word phrase emotional intelligence.
Okay.
That's all.
Okay. Okay.
And then poverty,
Okay.
and yeah, this is what I
So
remember for me.
other group members, what did they speak
So
on?
uh, my other group members also they spoke about very basic
Common topics,
things. Yeah, very
deforestation, like that.
yeah.
India is a
Uh,
superpower.
no, one of them no even one of them got pollution. They spoke
Pollution.
about pollution.
Okay.
Yeah, another spoke about river manage. Sorry, what is it? The water management.
Water management.
So
Okay.
yeah, so she's talking about this conservation of water and things
Any
like that.
topic do you remember which they someone got because of current affairs, from current affairs anyone
Yes,
got?
sir.
Yeah.
The only one girl in our group got a current affairs related thing,
Okay.
which was about this NRC.
Okay. NRC. Okay. She
Yeah,
got NRC and she spoke on that.
and she spoke on that.
Okay. Great. Great. You were saying something just before I interrupted. You were saying something.
Yes, sir. So we
Hmm.
again actually before a lecture it was conducted, there were a lot of slabs on which they
Ha.
stacked paper
Ha.
with four
Okay.
topics. So
Okay.
we were seven girls, and there were around 12 or 13 slabs like that.
Okay.
So we
So
have to pick one.
okay. So slabs means there is a plastic kind of card, and which
Yes,
you
sir.
have to which you have to pick, and on that that card is kept upside down. So you just pick one
Mm.
card, and four topics are there. Like that, it must be right.
Yeah. And out of that, you should choose one to
You should
talk.
choose one topic. Okay, okay, okay. So just for the people who are watching this, if you have any doubts, you can write it down in the question section, in the comment section. So whenever I'm trying to ask each and everything in detail, but whatever doubts you have, you can write it in the comment section. Okay. So after lecturate, then it was FGT.
Yeah.
Okay.
We had
So
FGT after that.
after, okay, so FGT, same whole group works on that with Balli Fatta and rope. After FGT, did you had this one command task or individual obstacles?
We had command tasks.
Command task. Okay, okay.
Yeah.
So in command task, calling two subordinates, two chess numbers, same
Yeah. We had,
process,
yes,
nothing
sir. So we had
special.
to call to see nothing special.
Hmm.
One thing to note that only for this they had asked us to still wear our gloves
For
and
command task.
yeah for no for the whole group activity like for a
Okay,
whole
because
we
you will
had
be
to wear
touching here
gloves.
and there.
Yes, sir.
Okay,
And even
okay,
we had to wear our masks also.
okay. Okay, so while
So it was
performing the
literally
group task, you have to wear the group's mask and gloves. Both you have to put on.
uh, uh, I'm sorry
Most
for
probably,
it's
generally, yeah,
I'm
yeah, no
thinking.
issues, no issues.
Mm,
No problem. If you're
Uh,
not able to remember, that's fine. That's
I
fine.
don't remember.
That's fine. That's fine. It's totally remember. That's totally fine. So
But
you,
but
yeah,
then for after this we had the after this we had the individual tasks.
okay,
So in the individual task they had asked us to distinctively remove our masks and
okay,
gloves
okay,
because we're doing it with we're only one person doing it.
okay,
So that part I remember we did not have to wear masks and gloves.
okay. So you had the lecturate also you had as a process, and then you had individual obstacles also. In that, you don't have to wear anything, and individual obstacles were there. Then after individual obstacles, what was the
So
task?
in the lecturate we had to wear our masks.
Okay,
Come
mask everywhere.
yeah
Okay, okay.
yeah.
So lecture topics we have discussed. Now, what were the individual obstacles for girls? Like, what were their command? You remember, like, three steps are there. Commando walk was there. A tire was there. What kind of
Yes, sir.
balancing is there?
Uh, Sir, a few things I don't really remember the structure. I'll just
Whatever you
describe
remember.
it.
Yes, yes.
Yeah. So, one was we had to, the very basic one was we had to jump over
Pit,
a rod. No, a
rod.
rod.
Okay, high jump
Like
like
it
that.
was like high jump, but
Okay,
the rod was very low.
very low.
So that
Okay,
was one.
okay,
Then second one, there was like a ramp-like structure,
okay,
and we had to jump. Just after the ramp-like structure is a pit, so we
okay.
had to jump such that we don't fall in the pit.
Wait, okay, come
Yeah.
like you have to come running and then you have to climb the ramp and like that maybe and jump that bit. Okay, that's the second
Yes.
structure. Okay,
Then the third structure was again there's a ramp-like structure
okay,
and there's a small wall-like thing. So you have
okay,
to run and climb
and
on the
climb that
wall
wall and go
and
that side.
jump off. Yeah, jump
Go
off
that
the
side.
other side.
Okay,
Mm. It was- Then fourth was the Burma Bridge. The
okay.
Burma Bridge everyone knows. So
Yes,
the
two
two
ropes
ropes.
are there, and then you hold it like this, and your legs are below on the below rope, and then you have to cross it from left to right like that. Okay,
Yeah,
Burma Bridge.
right.
Okay, okay.
Then there was rope climbing. So the rope was
Rope.
suspended,
Okay, rope
and
climbing was there.
yeah,
Okay, okay,
and for rope climbing, there was a concession for us. There was only a particular point. We didn't have to reach the hole. So like the
okay, okay,
half of it we had to touch.
okay.
And then the sixth one was there was a tire.
Tire. Okay.
So we had to jump into the tire and get out
Okay. Okay.
from
So,
the other side.
okay, go inside the tire and then come the different side. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Then there was one more where there was an elevated platform,
Okay.
and we had to jump off from the elevated platform into a pit, a sand kind of pit.
Acha. Acha. Okay.
That was
Okay.
one. Then there was a monkey bridge. Monkey
Okay.
bridge.
You have to climb and crawl like a monkey, like that. Monkey crawling.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
That.
Okay. Okay.
And finally, the ninth one was the Tarzan Swing. So
Okay.
we were given a rope.
Okay.
There was a sand pit, like
Okay.
and we had to swing across and fall
Okay.
on the other side. There's a sandpit there
Okay.
also,
Okay.
but we had to swing and
Got
fall.
it. Got it. Got it. Got it. So overall, approximately all of them you have told. All 10 you were saying that you don't remember, but everything is quite clear. So it's
Yes,
good.
yes.
So how was like overall? How do you think it is difficult? Individual obstacles, like what was the difficulty level of the individual obstacles at that center? Like height was very
Uh,
much, or like how did you
yes.
felt that?
So
Whether
the thing is, since I've not gone for any other SSB, I don't
hmm,
know the comparison, whether it's very tall. It was
okay,
pretty tall itself.
okay.
And
Any
that
any
was the
any
whole point
obstacle
of
for
it.
balancing and all that? What was there? Was there any
Oh yes,
balancing?
sorry, I missed out. This is the 10th obstacle
Yeah.
where we there was like a projected surface. It was
Okay.
like a Burma bridge, but the height was not as much as Burma bridge.
Okay.
And there was a rod from point A to point B, and
Okay.
we had to walk across without any. There's no support,
So no support. Okay. The kind of
nothing
balancing
to
only.
hold. Yeah, it
Okay.
was
Okay.
balancing.
Okay.
So these are the all the 10.
Okay. So after all the individual obstacles, then what was the task? Like snake race was performed, group obstacle race.
No, sir, we didn't have anything
Did
of
not
that
had
sort.
snake race and group
No,
obstacle. Okay. Then after that individual obstacles, it was over. You came back.
it was yeah, it was done for the day.
It was done for the day. Approximately, it must be lunchtime. So
Mm.
and
We
then you
had good lunch that day.
okay. So you came back, you had lunch, and then you had your rest.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yes.
okay, okay. Then it must be somewhere next day or next to next day. You must be having personal interview.
Mm. We
Okay, okay,
had a personal interview the
okay,
next day.
okay. So personal interview means first thing is like, do you remember who took your personal interview? And then you will start like how it started and what was the process. Do you remember who took your personal interview?
Sir, name wise,
Like
I obviously
not
don't know
name
because
wise,
even
like he was wearing uniform and the person like
no, sir.
he was not wearing. He
They
was
were
in
not in
civils
uniform.
only. They
No.
were not in. He was
Yeah.
in civils only, and there was some officer must be there. So only one person must be sitting in that room, right? Or two persons were sitting. Personal interview.
Mm, one second.
No problem. No problem.
Yeah. Sorry.
No
Sorry for
problem.
the interruption.
No problem. Yeah.
Yes, sir. In the personal interview, there was only one person sitting.
One person was sitting. Okay. Okay. So
Yeah.
at what time did you had your personal interview? Approximately in the morning time, afternoon time, or like evening?
My personal interview was around in the afternoon time,
Afternoon time.
like morning afternoon around 11:30.
11:30.
I
Okay. Brunch
had
time.
it. Yeah, but
Okay.
then the thing is, we had to report. All those who had it at that time had to report in the morning.
In the
So
morning
I
itself.
was there. Yeah, I was waiting from like 9 o'clock.
Okay, okay. So you are waiting in the waiting hall. So
Mm.
you all must be sitting in some waiting hall.
Yes, sir.
Okay, and then your personal interview started. Like, I mean,
Yeah.
you were called for the personal interview at
Yeah,
around
our
11.
chess numbers were called,
Just
and
numbers were
we
called.
had to go. Yeah, they
You have to go.
guided us to which room to go to.
Okay, okay. So with respect to personal interview, just first we'll not go in detail. Just so for how much time did the personal interview go on for you approximately? I know you cannot see the clock over there, but approximately 45 minutes or 1 hour, or like less than
Yeah,
that or more
uh,
than that.
around 45 minutes to 1 hour, so
Around
easily.
45 minutes easily.
Yeah.
Okay, okay, okay. So you entered the room and the person must be very far sitting at a desk, and then you must be sitting on one chair, and then so you sat on the chair. So how the conversation started?
So one thing is in the personal interview we were instructed to not wear a mask. We had to wear a face shield
Okay.
because they wanted to, I think, see our face. Or I'm
So
not sure.
this is the
They
place where
instructed
face
to
shield
this.
comes in the into picture. This is where you will use it. Apart from that, I think face shield is not used anywhere else.
Yeah, not used anywhere else. It's
Okay.
optional in the other
It's
places,
optional. Okay,
but
okay.
yeah, but here it's mandatory.
Here it's mandatory. Okay, so in the personal interview, it's mandatory because the whole thing of personal interview is you have to speak. So that's why in mask it is very difficult, and so you must be wearing shields. Okay, so he also was wearing some mask or something or shield.
He was also wearing a shield
He was also wearing a
and
shield. Okay,
mask.
and mask. So how did the this thing started? How did your interview start? What question did you ask? Did he ask?
So started off with like very basic questions,
Hmm.
like where are you from and what do your parents do and all that.
Okay,
And then, since I was from an engineering background, went into the domain specific questions.
okay,
So I
okay.
wasn't
So then he
ready.
came to technical questions with you.
Yeah,
Okay,
he
okay.
started off little with introduction and directly technical.
Technical questions. Okay, okay. And after
And
that,
the thing is, sir, in my AFCAT I had appeared for EKT, but I hadn't cleared EKT.
okay.
So I thought that a lot of technical questions wouldn't be asked, but I was
Okay.
actually wrong.
Okay.
and technical questions were asked.
Okay.
Some of it I was not really prepared for, so I
Okay.
told sir that I didn't know the answer to that.
Okay. Okay. No problem. Okay. So after these technical questions, then again he must have come to personal questions and that kind of questions.
Yes, sir. So the questions, like the topics which he
Hmm.
covered or
Hmm.
asked, were
Hmm.
like, what's your favorite subject?
Okay.
Then what is your relation between your friends and parents?
Okay.
And also when it came to engineering, he asked me to talk about one of the subjects of engineering
Okay.
for around 30 to 40 seconds.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So
So then
just speak about any subject on engineering for 30 to 40 seconds like that.
yes, sir. So I
Okay.
spoke about control systems,
Okay.
and then yeah, like just the basic stuff.
Okay.
And then he asked a lot of family questions
Okay.
regarding to my dad's work and mom's work.
Okay.
Then also ancestry questions. The thing is, since I speak Marathi, but
Okay.
then I'm born and brought up in Bangalore.
Okay.
So he asked me about whether who came to Bangalore and things like that. So
Okay.
then I had to explain. So basically, it's good to know about yourself at that point of time because I was not very sure. So the thing is,
So
my
yeah, the basic your life, how it has been till now. He must be picking up points from there. Like, okay, so you are Marathi. Okay, how did you come to Bangalore and who shifted to Bangalore? Why did you shift to
yes,
Bangalore? Like that.
yeah. So I had to explain to him that my great grandparents itself had moved to South India from
Okay.
Maharashtra.
Okay.
So which is how I am born and brought up in Bangalore, and this is
Okay.
my place.
Okay.
I had to explain all that to him.
Okay.
So yes, sir, that was all. Like most of it was, related to all of this.
Okay. Okay. So did he ask any rapid fire round? Did you had any rapid fire round, like asking a lot of questions in one go and then?
It's called battery. Yes, sir. I
Yes.
did.
Yes.
Again, that after my technical questions, the assessor asked me a range of questions.
Yes. Yes. That
So
range of questions. Yeah.
yeah, so he asked me more about about myself from
Hmm.
where I am. He gave me a set of questions, what college I studied in, which course I'm doing. So he gave it in an order, and I tried answering it in order. And but then the thing is, my assessor he started questioning on whatever answers I had given in the battery. So
In
when
the
he
middle
spoke
of that
about
itself.
yes, sir. He kind of
Okay.
interrupted me.
Okay.
So when
Okay.
I told majority of the things, so I think he
Okay.
had asked about 12 things,
Okay.
and at one point I had reached around 7 items of
Okay.
what I told,
Okay.
and then
Okay.
he started questioning me there itself.
Okay.
So yes, sir.
Okay. Okay. So you had this one set of battery questions or like series of questions or another set like this one set only.
No, sir. Only one set.
And this was related to your personal life only, your education and like that.
It was both mix, a few personal and few educational
Few
stuff.
education. Okay. 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 Apart from that, so after this battery, then how did the interview proceed like after this?
Then after that, he came down to what I was currently doing, and
Okay.
since I was in engineering, he asked whether I got a job and all details to that,
Okay.
which I answered.
Okay.
And then later he concluded by saying thank you so
Okay.
much.
So did he ask you any Air Force related questions or our military related questions?
So surprisingly to me, he didn't ask anything related to the Air Force, any defense related. He didn't ask,
Nothing he didn't
but
ask.
yeah, but to a lot of my roommates, they were questioned about all that.
So do you remember any particular question which they asked your roommates like
Yes, so they asked them to name a few fighter jets,
fighter
attack
jets?
helicopters,
Okay,
things like that.
just the very basic like the naming of the jets and like that. I mean,
Yeah,
very basic, not
yeah.
very
No.
specific question, nothing, right?
So there was one specific question. I think in one of the operations, which
Okay,
aircraft was used.
this is a tough
So
question. This is a tough question.
yes, I think it was the. I don't remember much, but
Okay, okay.
like
So so do you know Air Force related questions were asked? What about current affairs?
no, sir. For me, no, not much. No
Okay,
current
so
affairs
no
actually.
current affair itself.
Nothing.
So nothing. So GK
So, but
questions?
then
Nothing GK questions. Nothing.
nothing.
Okay.
Because for me, I was attacked mainly in the technical questions. A lot of
Technical
technical
questions.
questions
A lot
are,
of technical questions
yeah.
itself. Okay, and apart from that, A lot of personal questions. So I think he must be also an engineer. That's why he asked you a lot of technical questions, and he must be from electronics, I'm sure, because then only they ask you
Yes,
technical questions. Okay, okay, okay.
yes, sir.
So any question, any puzzle he gave, any SRT he gave in the interview?
No, sir.
Nothing else. Okay. Any
No.
any any personal question you think that you did not expect and he asked you? Any personal questions like you expected? Okay, how can he ask me this thing? Like anything which he
Yes,
asked,
sir.
like how much money did you get? Like that he asked. What is your pocket
No,
money?
sir,
Like
not exactly that. He asked me things about whether you smoke and drink and all
okay,
that,
okay.
and
Regarding your
and
boyfriends, relationships,
yes,
like that.
sir.
He
Yes, sir.
asked
All that. Yeah,
all that.
yeah.
He
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 asked all
generally
that.
they ask. Okay.
Yeah, he
Okay,
asked that.
okay, okay, okay. So nothing static was general knowledge was asked, no current affairs, no Air Force related. It was all grilled on personal and your technical since you are an engineer like that.
Technical. Yes, sir.
Okay, okay, okay. So overall, you gave the interview and then he said thank you. I forgot one thing. So you must have carried the file with you to the interview.
Yes, sir.
Like,
I carried my
so did
file.
he ask for the file before entering the interview, or you just had it in your hand itself, did not check?
No, no. We had to sit at a distance,
Uh,
and he read out my marks of 10th, 12th, and
so
10th
he
to
he
just
had
cross
your file.
verify. Yeah, no, he had a record of all my
Okay,
marks.
okay,
So basically, I feel he had a record, and he
okay,
was just cross verifying it with me. He
okay,
didn't take my things
okay. So you
as like,
yourself had the file, so he did not touch that file. It was there with you
yeah,
itself. Okay, okay,
yeah.
okay. Any question he asked regarding any extracurricular you have done or anything? Did he ask like what you have done in your college life, extracurricular debate? Anything did he ask
Yes,
like sports?
yes, sir. He asked what and all I've done,
What all you have
like
done?
what what I've participated in and
Okay,
things like that.
okay,
But he didn't go much into like depth in
okay.
it
He just asked
because
your opinion.
Yeah, because I've seen places where people are like if they have spoken about basketball, they
Okay,
have asked specific things about basketball,
basketball.
like dimension of the court and all.
Correct, correct.
But for me, nothing like that was
Nothing
asked.
as such. Nothing as such. So he asked about your hobbies and all like that.
Yes, sir.
Okay,
He
so
did.
did he grill on your hobbies like, or it was okay? Did not.
Uh, so yeah, he actually made fun of one of my hobbies,
Okay,
and
okay. And what
I
about the?
told him.
Huh. Go
Because
ahead, go ahead.
it was basically meditation. I was talking to
Okay,
him about meditation. I do it like every morning,
okay,
and he made fun of it. How can you sit for 1 hour like that,
okay, okay,
like in
okay.
one place? It was
Just
in
to
a very
make
light-hearted way.
yeah, just to
Yeah.
make the things comfortable. Okay. Anything related to fitness? He asked like, how did you manage your routine and like that? How you? He must be asking about your routine or fitness. Like, how did you do things like that?
Uh, no, he didn't ask me about my fitness routine, but he
Okay.
asked me how my normal day in my life,
Normal
how
daily
normal
life
day in my life would be like.
would be like. Okay, okay,
Mm.
okay. And did he ask you like why do we select you and why do you want to join? He must have asked this thing.
Uh, that was asked in my during my command task. Right before my command task,
Acha.
they asked me why Air Force in specific.
Okay.
So
Okay. Okay.
that
So
was
that
what
was
happened.
like before the command task, the GTO have generally have a small chit chat with the candidate. So in that time he must have asked, but in the personal interview he did not ask.
Hmm. But one thing he asked is, why do you want to join? Like, because I think that's like a standard question which
Okay.
should be asked.
In the personal
He hasn't
interview, he
asked
asked,
me.
"Why did you want to
Yeah,
join?" Okay, okay,
yeah.
okay, okay. So all these, I don't feel any special questions which he asked, but technical he grilled you. Generally, they don't that much grill you, but depends on the interviewing officer. If he is also from technical background, he might grill. So
Yes, sir.
that is one thing. Anything you would like to say for the interview, like any special or anything which you remember specifically, like uh, this was asked or the candidate should be prepared for this one. I think technical questions he
So
should be prepared for.
yes, sir. Like even if your graduation is not in engineering, he asked me a lot of physics questions like
Physics
Archimedes
questions.
principle, Bernoulli's theorem, and all
Because you
that.
are from the science background, right? That's why he must have
Yeah,
asked. Yeah.
and also people, I think whoever has applied, their
Hmm.
11th and 12th will should be science because it's like a
Hmm.
requirement for
Hmm.
application.
Hmm.
So my thing is just to go through all that, like
Okay.
just know what is what.
And nothing
Because
else.
yeah,
Nothing else you remember for the interview, like anything else which you like to share? Personal
so
interview.
for the personal interview, I just feel you should know yourself in and
Know
out.
yourself very well.
That's very important, and also about a little about your ancestry, like about your forefathers
Uh, uh,
and
uh.
things like that. Because in my case, I spoke Marathi, but I was born and raised, brought up
So
in
he
Bangalore.
then he tried to clarify that like how things went and that thing.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Take it, take it, take it. So after the interview was over, so your interview was on the third day itself or fourth day?
No, sir, my in fourth day.
Fourth day. So you got one day
Yeah.
before the interview to relax, right?
Yeah, but the previous day was a GTO, sorry,
Oh,
group
okay.
tasks,
Group
right, sir?
task. Okay, okay, okay. So group
Yeah.
task, and then okay,
So
you had the second day psychological, third day was
yeah, so
GTO,
the
fourth
first
day was
first day was yeah, first day was only screening,
screening,
second was psychological,
psychological test.
third was group tasks,
Okay,
fourth was interview.
interview. Okay, so for you it was
Yeah.
in a series, good series. Okay, so after this interview was over, you went to your room and that's it, right? Next day must be conference.
Yeah.
Okay, okay. So next day conference. So how many? How was the conference? Did they ask you any SRT question in the conference, or like it was okay? Hi, how are
No, sir,
you? And
it was just how was your stay,
how was your
and
day? And stay.
yeah, and then they asked one question related to there's a room called the motivation room in
Okay,
our block
okay.
where it was like a library kind of place,
Hmm, hmm,
so we could go and stay there and
hmm,
read up
hmm, hmm,
things and things.
hmm,
So they
hmm,
just asked me how I found the motivation room to be,
hmm,
like
hmm.
what are my
Okay,
takeaways.
okay, okay.
That's all.
So in the conference, they must all like everyone must have been in the this one, right? Uniform.
Yes, sir, everyone in the uniform,
Everyone was on uniform.
and yeah, we had to wear a mask and face shield
Face shield both. Okay.
and gloves
So
also.
and gloves also. So 117 reported, 53 got screened in, and so how many were recommended? Anyone who got recommended?
Eight,
Eight girls were
eight.
recommended. Okay, eight girls were recommended. Okay, okay, okay. So like how much time was the conference part? Like did it was very fast, like in half an hour, 1 hour, 53 was over, or like did it stretch? They took a break in between
No,
conference
no.
and then
It kind of stretched for a long time.
okay, okay.
So around it went on till afternoon.
Till afternoon. Okay, okay.
Mm.
So after that, like conference was over, then the officer must have come and then he announced the results, and then
Yes.
that's it, right?
No, 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 no. Then we were asked to eat lunch after the
Okay,
conference.
okay,
Yeah,
okay.
and then later we were again taken into the same hall where we
Same
did our
hall.
OIR. Yeah. And over there they announced the chess numbers
Okay,
as to who was selected.
okay, okay, okay. And then
Recommended, sorry.
yeah, recommended. And then those girls stayed back. The girls who
Yes.
stayed back for the medicals, or they were like okay, okay. So they stayed
They
back.
were asked to stay back.
They were
Yes,
asked
sir.
to stay back, and rest of them. So did they drop you till some place or like this thing?
Yeah. So they had two options, either to
Okay,
the train station or the
okay.
bus station,
So
bus
they were
stop.
dropping you.
Yeah, they dropped.
They did not come to pick up, but they were dropping candidates.
Yeah,
Okay,
but
okay,
sir, again the pickup part, I'm not sure because I did not
okay.
come
You
by
you
public,
you
so
you went
they
by
must have picked up.
okay, okay,
Yeah,
okay. You went
but
by
I'm not
with
sure
your
about
father.
it.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay, 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 okay. And one thing which I missed out is they did not allow to use mobile phones, right? They mobile phones were restricted with yourself, like somewhere logged in there.
yes. The thing is, after screening in, they took away all our electronic gadgets,
Okay,
and we were given it only after the conference day.
after the conference. Okay,
After
so
conference.
okay, okay. So conference was over, and then eight girls were recommended, and then you came back. So they dropped.
Yeah.
Okay, 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 okay. So now the one thing is like, how was your overall, SSB experience? We went in so much detail about your SSB. How was your overall experience? Like, do you think every candidate, every person, every graduate should have this experience once in a while? That do you think that anything can be learned from this experience?
So the thing is, I learned a lot. I don't know
Hmm,
about the others, but I'm
hmm,
sure even they would learn a lot from the experience itself,
hmm, hmm,
even though they get recommended or not.
hmm,
And again, this is my point of view since I didn't
hmm,
get recommended.
hmm.
The thing is, one is, I was really like an introvert. I mean, I
Okay.
was really like introvert as in
No,
not that
but when you're
not
talking
being
to me, I don't
shy.
feel. But when you're talking to me, I don't feel you're introvert. You're talking very nicely. You have a very calm nature. It's very good. So why do you feel
So
you are an introvert?
yeah, so that's the thing. The thing is, introvert as in I wouldn't like go up and socialize with people.
Acha.
Only
Okay.
if I found a need to talk to them.
Okay. Okay.
Like I would, stay by myself. And it's
Okay.
not that it's not about being shy. It's like I
Okay.
don't really mind of putting my point across, but if I have the valid points, it's
Yeah.
just that I don't really mingle with
You
people.
don't
And,
you don't
with my,
initiate, and you don't
I don't initiate. That's a better
if you
word.
have an option to watch a movie and to go out, you would choose to watch a movie alone, like that,
Yeah,
like
yes,
that
sir. Yeah,
person.
like that.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
So over there, because they had taken our electronic devices,
uh,
we had to interact with others
because you did not had
and
anything else to do. If they have taken their
yeah,
mobile, then you don't have anything else to do, right?
yes, sir.
uh,
Yes, sir. So because of that, I could actually I meet a lot of friends apart, including my group friends and all that.
okay. Okay.
So that I kind of that thing of that stigma of talking to people like that has
Hmm.
reduced. Like I
Okay.
can do that now without having second thoughts.
Okay.
And another thing is confidence, sir, because for SSB the
Hmm.
preparation, you had to you had to know about everything which is happening around you,
Hmm.
at least
Hmm.
if not in detail, like you had to know something or
Hmm.
the other.
Hmm. Hmm.
So because of that I got a lot of knowledge
Hmm.
and I feel confident. I
Hmm.
feel more confident before. Obviously, confidence you can't really develop in 5 days, but I
Correct.
feel like I was more confident after the process
After the
than
process.
before, like
Okay.
comparatively more.
Comparatively. So basically what
Yeah.
happens is, like, when you go through that process, first thing is that you come to know that you can live without mobile. That is first thing.
Yes,
Second
yes.
thing is you
That's the
have a
first.
definite
Yes.
routine. You have a definite routine. So they tell you that okay, you have to wake up at that time, you have to sleep at this time,
Yeah.
and you get a definite routine, which is missing from engineering students' life. And
Yes, yes, yes.
third thing is, like, when you interact with strangers, so it is a very good point. You have to talk to them because there is no one else. It is like a big box house, na. You are in a big boss house only,
Yes, actually.
because
A more
it's
disciplined
about
big boss, huh?
discipline. And yeah, because you don't have anyone else what you can do. You cannot do anything, so you have to talk to them, you have to interact, and that brings out some personality and brings out some confidence in you, right?
Yeah. So basically, time management,
Time
like
management.
as you said, life without a mobile is possible.
Hmm.
That thought,
Hmm.
it is possible has come into my head. So
Hmm.
right now I'm prioritizing things which are actually important.
Correct.
And I'm kind of away. I've kind of distanced myself away from the
Good.
electronic devices
Good. Good. Good.
because yeah, that's one takeaway. And another thing is, since I spoke to a lot of people, like they're people from different aspects of life. Some were,
Huh.
commerce graduates, some were arts.
Huh.
Like they had a lot of knowledge of, their field. So it
Okay.
was very nice to see people having so much of knowledge. So
Okay.
that kind of it makes me feel more inquisitive, to
Hmm.
think that, okay, I want to learn more
Hmm.
apart
Hmm.
from your normal thing.
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
that feeling also is kind of slowly got into my system. Then
Okay.
the feeling of, trying to get to know more of,
Okay.
whatever is happening.
Correct. Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay.
And
Okay.
one more thing, sir. After this, I feel with whatever is going around, whatever situation is going around,
Hmm.
you must be like kind of informed on it. And also, I feel you should have an opinion on it. Like
Okay. Okay.
maybe not
Correct.
for the situation or
Huh. Huh.
against, at least you
Huh.
should know what is happening because that's very important. And
Huh.
I saw that in myself because that, kind of makes you to have more knowledge and in turn it makes you confident.
Like
So
so,
it's
and
all
this will
interrelated.
integrated, and this will also help in a lot of fields, not in the ssb process itself, but in general. When you are talking to someone in your daily life or somewhere, you will have a lot of stuff to talk. You will have a lot of, you'll have a lot of knowledge. Correct.
Hmm. Yeah.
Like, instead of uh, wasting your time on something else on the mobile or something, if you read current affairs and you have, like, okay, what is this going on, what is going on in France, what is going on this thing. So this will overall help you. And what candidates don't understand is they think that reading about this will not help me in my job or anything. But you never know that what thing might help in your situation or scenarios in further
Yeah.
in life.
Yeah.
Correct. And overall
Yes.
overall I would say, if one person goes through this ssb procedure, uh, there is no chance that he will not improve. I would say some person might get might get some takeaways, like he might get improved 40%, 30%, but 1%, 2% improvement will be there. Your life will change little bit, it will change after SSB procedure.
Yes, Irvin, I believe in that.
Yes.
Because even my other friends who
uh,
were, in it, have spoken about it. So it's
Correct.
not only me who's feeling that way, even there are other people also
Other
feel
people
the
as
same.
well. Okay. 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 And especially for the people who have not been into defense background, their fathers and their families not from the defense background, they feel a little different environment and they like it and they feel that okay, so it is
But
kind of a
but actually, sir, I'm not exactly from a defense background,
okay.
but my uncle, my uncle did serve in the army.
Okay.
So like a partial, I
Okay.
don't know, can't call it exactly a defense
Yes.
background,
Yes. But you
but
have some
a
knowledge
small
about that.
affinity. Yeah.
Okay, okay, okay. So I don't know why, because after talking to you, I feel that you should have been recommended. You are very calm. Your answers were very good. You were not nervous, and the way you spoke, everything was good. I'm not sure, but that assessors only know. But unfortunately, you did not recommend this time. But I hope that you will get recommended for sure next time, because
Thank you, sir.
as per me, I mean, your personality is very good. Just one thing. So you are giving AFCAT 2 this time, AFCAT 2022.
Yes, sir. AFCAT too. Yeah.
Okay,
And I
okay,
thought of concentrating for EKT this time.
yeah.
So
So
like
if you clear EKT means you will get one more branch that you can take. You can fight for technical also, so it will be easy in
yes,
merit list also.
yes, sir.
Chalo, overall it was very good, and I hope that we see you in uniform, Gauri, soon.
Thank you, sir.
And
I
keep
hope
the
the same. I'm working
yes,
towards it. Let's
yes,
see. It's all
yeah,
God's will.
keep the preparation going on and don't lose hope. And
Sure, sir.
thank you so much for giving me your time, because it was a very detailed discussion, and I know the way I have asked you questions, it was very detailed. So thank you so much for giving the time.
Thank you. Thank you,
Any
sir.
any last message you would like to give to aspirants who are preparing for SSB, or like who are preparing for AFCAT written exam, because you have cleared the AFCAT written exam, like
Yes, sir.
general,
So
because we
for
have
the
approximately
AFCAT,
1 month now. Yeah, the date has been postponed.
yeah. So for AFCAT, I feel maths was my savior because CDS I couldn't clear. I was weak in general science, but good at English. But because of maths and logical reasoning, that really kind of helped me get through. So I feel people should kind of concentrate more on that
Okay.
and
Okay.
current affairs
Current affairs.
related stuff. Yeah.
Okay, 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 okay. So all the best, Gauri, for the AFCAT and your next, SSB experience. And I hope whenever you contact me next for the after the next SSB experience, I will get to hear that okay, sir, I am recommended and I am going to wear the uniform.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Thank you so
All the
much.
best to you. Thank you
Thank
so
you,
much.
sir.
Thank you so much, Gauri.